Hi everyone. In today's challenge, we have this problem maximum subsequence score and the problem number is 2542. Alright guys, so first of all what we are going to do, we are going to clearly understand what this problem say. After that we are going to move to the logic part, we are going to see how we can solve this problem. And after that we are going to move to the implementation part, we are going to implement our logic in C++, Java and Python programming language. Fine guys, now let's see what this problem say, right? So problem says you are given a two zero indexes integer arrays nums1 and nums2 of length n, right? Okay, and a positive integer k. So guys, they are given an input first of all in first line. In first line we have a input which is nothing but we have three parameter, right? We have three input. The first one is nothing but a nums1 array, second one is nothing but nums2 array, and third one is nothing but k, which is an integer, right? All right, so and one condition also that the size or we can say length of nums1 and nums2 is going to be equal. I hope this makes sense, right? After that it says you must choose a subsequence of indices from nums1 of length k. Now let's give some size first of all to nums1, which is nothing but I'm going to give 1 3 3 2, right? So it has four we can say elements in this array. So now this nums2 also going to have four elements, and this could be different, right? Elements should not be same but the length should be same. So element, let's say 2 1 3 4. Now k is, let's say 3, right? So I have totally taken out the first example here. I hope it makes sense, right? Now guys, it says you must choose a subsequence of indices from nums of length k. So now we have to take a subsequence of k size. Here k is 3, so I have to take a subsequence of 3 size from this nums1 array. Fine. Now for chosen indexes I0, I1, so on up to ik minus 1, your score is defined as. Now guys, let's say I have chosen this particular 0 indexes, 1 indexes, second indexes, right? Or you can choose like this as well: 0 indexes, 1 indexes, 2 indexes. It is a subsequence, not summary, right? So for simplicity, I choose 0, 1, and 2, right? Fine. So I have to choose this particular indexes, and now my score will be what? That depend on these two conditions. The first is the not condition. I would say that depend on these two rules. So that first is the sum of selected elements from nums1 multiply with the minimum of the selected element from nums2. So now I have chosen this summary, right? So 0 indexes, 1 indexes, 2 indexes, and we have on 0 1, on 1 3, and 2 2, right? So we're going to add first of all sum, that is nothing but 3 plus 4, 3 1 4 plus 2 6, right? So we have the 6 here, the element we can say nothing but sum of this particular subsequence. Now it should be multiplied with the minimum of selected element from nums2. Now we have to take the same element from nums2. 0 indexes, 1 indexes, 2 indexes, that is nothing but we can say 0 indexes we have 2, on one indexes we have 1, and on third indexes second indexes we have 4, right? So we have to take a minimum from them, that is nothing but we can say 1 only, right? So this is going to return us answer 6. So we have to return that answer, but wait, we don't have to return this answer, we have to return the maximum possible score, right? Now the maximum possible score depend on what? Depend on the subsequence, right? It totally depend on subsequence, right? How you take a subsequence, that depends, because I have taken 0 1 2, so that I have to take sum and also I have to multiply with the same we can say subsequent indexes of nums2, right? So if I just change the subsequence, you can see how my answer is depend, or we can say vary, right? So let me do this. And now guys, if I change it, so let's say now this time I'm taking 0. Okay, this was 3, right? 0 1 and 2, right? Now I'm taking this one, right? 0 indexes, 1 index, and second indexes. Now what will be my subsequence? So this will be 1 3 2. Again the sum is going to be 6, right? Now I have to multiply with the minimum of it. So how we can multiply it minimum? 0 index is this one, 1 index is not this one, this is going to be, again I'm taking a wrong, right? This is 0, this is 2, this is 3, right? So this is going to be 2, this is going to be 3, right? So this indexes I have taken, so which is going to be nothing but 2 3 and 4. Now guys, can you tell me the minimum of these? 2 3 and 4, this is nothing but minimum is 2, right? So I'm going to multiply with it, so I'm going to getting a 12. Still I have taken a key length subsequence from this nums1 array, but this time my answer is 12, right? So you can see that this is the maximum one, and you can try with another subsequence as well. You can take this subsequence as well, this 0 indexes, this 1 indexes, and this 2 indexes. So you can try out other we can say subsequence, but the answer maximum we are going to get is 12, and you can see in the output as well. In example 1 we are getting a 12. I hope it makes sense, right? So what we have to do, we have to take first of all the subsequence of k size from nums1. After that we have to take the minimum element from nums2 of the same subsequence index. Then we have to multiply it with the sum of the subsequence, right? And once we have done, we have to check out which is the maximum. We have to return that maximum value. So this was the problem, right? So we have understood the problem. Now let's see the logic part. I hope you understood the problem, right? Because if you did not understood the problem first, you will not able to understood the logic, right? So understanding the problem is the first thing. Fine. Now guys, what we are going to do, we are going to understand the logic part, and logic is going to be really very easy. Believe me, logic is easy, but Yeah, we are going to use some different data structures, right? So first thing is nothing but what we have to do. We have to first of all take now can you notice that we are, every time we have to find a minimum from this nums2 array, right? So is there any way we don't need to look every time that this is a minimum, this is a maximum, right? Yeah, there is a way, but we can do a sort. So if you will see, we have initially this was array, right? 2, 1, 3, 4, right? Now every time I have to find the minimum one. But if I do sort, then I don't need to find the minimum one. And you can see if we do sort, then order will lose, right? Definitely order will lose, but we will not gonna do that. We are gonna sort with respect to this nums one array, right? I hope this makes sense. So initially, the first thing is nothing but sort the array of two a second array, we can say nums2 with respect to 1, right? So with respect to 1. So how it will look like now, you can see first we have this one array. So if I sort this nums2, then my 4 will come at the top. I am sorting in reverse order, right? So 4 will come at the top, then 3, then 2, then 1, right? So this will be nums2, and the nums1 will be what is the value with respect to this 4. This is nothing but 2, so we are going to say 2. Then we're going to have a 3, fine. Then we are going to have nothing but 1, fine. Then we are going to have nothing but 2, right? So let me tell you, this is nums1, this is nums2, right? Fine. So now we have sorted it in the reverse order of nums2 with respect to this nums1 as well, right? Now guys, what we have to do, we have to just take a key element. See guys, now we are going to use a main data structure that is nothing but heap. And how heap will be handy in this particular problem? See, what we are going to do, we are going to see first of all, we are going to traverse over this array nums1, right? 2, 3, 1, 2, which we have this array. Now we are going to traverse over this, right? So 4, 0 index is to the till the length, right? So let's say length is n, so n minus 1. We are going to traverse it. Fine. Now what we are going to do in this traverse, we are going to say take all the elements, right? So you have to keep taking all the elements. So first we are having a sum, nothing but we are having initially sum is nothing but 0, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to say okay, take this one. So on first index is going to take the first index, that is nothing but we can say 2. Sum 0 plus 2 is equal to 2. Then we are going to take 3. We are going to say 5. But as soon as we are going to take on 1, now we realize that we have already taken the k element, right? As we can say k is 3, so we have already taken k minus 1 element 2. Now once we are going to take 1, so you can see we are going to take 1, this is going to be the sum equal to 6. Now we can say we have taken all 3 element, right, from our this nums1 array, and that we have to do, right? Once we can say our I is greater than k. If I is greater than, I means nothing but indexes which we are traversing, right? I is greater than or equal to k minus 1, right? So what we can say now we have to multiply with the minimum of this nums1 array. So we can multiply with minimums of one this nums1 array, which is going to be nothing but the I of this one. So as you can see, we have taken this particular one. So the minimum is nothing but 2, right? So we can say 6 into 2 is nothing but our answer. 6 into 2 is nothing but 12. So this is our answer. So now you guys, you will say why we have used a priority queue, right? So you will not find here, but let me tell you in the second example. So we have this second example, right? So we have this 4, 2, 3, 1 and 1, right? And nums2 is nothing but 7, 5, 10, 9 and 6. Now let's sort this in the reverse order with respect to nums2. So I'm going to write a nums2 here, which is nothing but first we have a nums 10. Okay, we are going to get here 3. Then we have 9, which we are going to get 1. Then we have 7. Then we have 4. Then we have 6, which is nothing but 1. Then we have 5, right? So we are going to write 5. So this is nums2, this is nums1, right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to traverse over this nums1, or you can say anything, right? So let me take another color. So we are going to traverse it. So initially my sum was 0. So what I'm going to say, this is nums2, right? This is nums1. So we are going to traverse over this. We are going to keep adding, right? So initially sum was 0 and I was 0, right? I not 0. When I will be 0, the sum will be nothing but equal to 3. When I will be 1, sum will equal to 3 plus 1, that is nothing but 4. When I will be 2, the sum will equal to nothing but 5, right? Sum will be equal to not 5, 3 plus 1, which 4, 4 plus 4 is 6, 4, 8, right? So now this is 2, right? And here k is 1, but we have to take k is 3, right? Because if k is 1, then we are definitely going to get 10 into 3 is 30, right? But if let's say k is 3, so what we are going to do, we are going to say now we are taken already 3 indexes, right? 3 elements, because I is starting from 0. So 0 comma 2, 1 comma 2, this is nothing but 3 element, right? So once we have taken a 3 element, now check it. So what we are going to do, we are going to check it, right? So once we have taken 3 elements, so what we are going to do, we are going to say, okay, now what you have to do, you have to take the minimum element, which is nothing but going to be at this index 7. All right, so you have to multiply with this 7 into the sum of this, which is nothing but 8, right? So it's gonna be 56, right? But if it is not the case, let's say there are some more element which I could say nothing but if I can say here 20. So let me say here 20, here let's say 10, right? So now guys, you can see that the answer is going to be nothing but maximum of this, right? So you will see if I end up with 56, but if I take this particular subsequence, that my answer is going to be maximum one, right? So I can't stop here. What I have to do, I have to keep traversing. I have to say, all right, so now we have this particular array 314. Now we can say leave the minimum one, which is nothing but 1. So if you will see, now this condition has been gone. Now we are keep moving, we are at third index, but before that my answer will be nothing but 4 plus 3 7, right? Because we have to remove the minimum one, which is nothing but 1. So that will help us to find from priority queue, right? So we from priority queue we find out that the minimum element is nothing but 1. So after that we are removing that from our array, so it's nothing but 7. Now we are going to add this 10, this is going to be 17, right? On third index we have 17, just we have taken still 3 element. You can see we have taken 0 element, 0 indexes, second index, and the fourth indexes. Now if I do multiply with this maximum, this is nothing but 6, right? On this we have, this is the minimum one, right? 6. So if I multiply with 7 in 6, so you will see that it will always be greater than 56, right? And let's see after do we are getting any more we can say greater than this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to still take out the minimum one and remove from some, which is going to be nothing but now 3 4 10, which is the minimum 3. So I'm going to remove 3, so it's going to be now 14. And on the fourth index we are going to say I have to add 20, so it's going to be we can say 34. Now once we have this, now we are going to multiply with 34 into the minimum of this is nothing but 5, so we can say 5. And now you will see that this is going to be is greater, always greater than the earlier one as well, right? So we are going to return 170 answer. So you can see that how the answer varies, right? We always not sure that we have to take only first k element. We can take in between of that. Here I have skipped 1, I have skipped 3 as well. I have took this 4, 10, and 20. So I hope guys you understood the problem and the logic part. What we have to do, first step is nothing but sorting. We have to sort the nums2 array in the reverse order with respect to nums1. The second step is nothing but we have to traverse over this nums1 array. We have to keep adding, right? And once we reach to the maximum condition, that particular condition where I is greater than k. Now there what we have to do, we have to take the element of nums2 on that index and we have to multiply with sum, which we are calculating. After taking the sum, now we have to remove the minimum element from sum and keep moving, right? And if you're still not getting, don't worry, we are going to understand this from a code, because code will help you understand with how this we are using, what are the steps we are following. So definitely with the code, you will definitely going to understand what is the logic and how we are going to solve this particular problem with that particular logic. So let's move to the code first of all. And here I'm with the code first of all. Now the first thing which we are going to do is nothing but sorting, right? So I'm going to create a first of all an array, which is going to be nothing but I could say a list. So let's say list, and here I'm going to say zip of nums1 and nums2. So this is an array which I created by combining of both the elements, both the arrays. So now if I go to sort array of dots, so key is equal to lambda x of 1. I have to sort on the basis of the nums2, right? So I've sorted on the basis of nums2, and here I'm going to say reverse is equal to 2. I hope this makes sense, right? So once I have done sorting, the first step is over. Now I have to traverse over the second step. Before that, let me define some variable which is nothing but sum. So I can say total sum, and the second variable is nothing but result, which is going to be, both are going to be 0. Now once I've done this thing, I'm going to traverse over this first array, or we can say anyone, because the size is going to be same. So I'm going to say for I in range of length of nums, right? Now nums1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say ts plus equal to nums1, not nums1, array of, we can say I of 0, right? So I have added the nums1 element into total sum. Now I have to check one condition. If ts is greater than, if ts is greater than, not ts, if I is greater than or equal to k minus 1. So it means that we have already taken these elements, k element. Now once we have taken a k element, what we are going to do, we are going to say my result will be going to be maximum of result, or I have to take multiply with this particular nums2 element array. So I have to say arr of I of 1, which is nothing but nums2, the element of nums2 array. After that multiply with total sum, right? And after that we are done with this. Now what we have to do, we have to we can say remove the minimum element from the total sum which we have added. So how we can do that, we can do that by just maintaining a one queue, we can say priority queue, right? Heap. So for that I'm going to say my min heap is going to be nothing but empty right now. As we are adding in total sum, we are also adding in min heap, which is nothing but min heap. So we can add like this: heap q dot heap push. In min heap you have to add arr of I of 0. You are once adding it, you are going to here, we're going to remove the minimum one, right? So you can say uh, we can, how we can do this, we can do like simple heap q dot heap o heap pop, right? And here we can pass many heap, so it will going to return the minimum one, which we have to remove from TS, right? So once we are done this, we are going to return our result. Simple. Let's try to run this code and see whether we are getting any error or not. So I don't think we should get any error in this, right? But still, you can see we got an error, right? So it's saying that, uh, what's saying? Oh, we haven't used indentation, right? Now let's run this code. All right. So see, let's see. You can see both the test case pass, right? So let's try to submit this code in, and you can see, guys, it is just 70 line of code, and we have used some empty line as well, right? And it also got submitted, right? You can see. All right, so now let's move to the next example. Not less. Next, we can see a programming language, right? So let's take a C++. Now, how are we going to do in C++? We are going to first of all define a vector of, not here we can use a pair, right? So we can use a pair. Here we can say pair of ARR. So now what we are going to traverse over any of these. So we can say nums1 dot, we can say size and I plus plus, and here we can say ARR dot pushback fine, and here we can pass first of all I'm going to pass the nums to I, and then I'm going to pass the nums1 of I. And why I'm doing this, why it is taking this. All right, so it's come out of line, right? So guys, what I have done, let me show you this. So I have passed first of all nums2 of I, then nums1 of I. Why? Because I want to sort on the basis of 0 indexes now. If I pass nums1 of I first and then nums2 of I, then I have to use a comparator which is going to sort on the basis of first indexes, right? But if I do like this, so it by default going to sort on the basis of 0 indexes where we want to sort, right? Now we can say sort it, right? So we can say just sort, and what you have to sort, array dot r begin, comma r array dot rn, right? Let me write here comma array dot rn. And why this? Because it's going to sort in reverse order, right? Once we have sorted in reverse order, now what we have to do, we have to just maintain a queue, right? So we can say priority queue, this is min heap, right? So priority queue, right? And after that we can say integer data type, then we can say vector of int, then we can say creator of int. This is how we can make a priority queue, right? Min heap we can see, right? After that, right? After that we can say for int is equal to 0, I less than nums1 dot size I plus plus, and here we can say, all right, so now what we are going to do, we are going to add in our total sum, and we have to make two variable, right? And we have to make of long data type, long, you can see in the return type we have long, so long, and here we can say total sum, and this total sum is equal to 0, and result also is equal to 0, right? Now here we are going to add total sum plus equal to nums1 of, not nums1, arr of second or first. Just tell me what will be here, right? If you are seeing this video carefully, then you can tell me what will be the value here come, dot first or we can say dot second. So it will be dot second because we have changes the order here. We have passed nums1 later, nums2 first, right? All right, so once we have added it, we also have to in queue, so we can say pq dot push is arr dot second. Once we have done this thing as well, so we are going to check it if our I is greater than or equal to k minus 1. So we are going, what we are going to do, we are going to say our result will gonna be minimum, not minimum, maximum of result comma arr dot first, which is the nums2 element, into the total sum, right? And not arr, we have to use indexes, right? So arr of I, here also arr of I, right? So, and here also arr of I, fine. Once this is done, we are gonna also remove the minimum element from our total sum, right? So which will be tell us by the priority queue, right? So we can say total sum minus equal to pq dot, we can say top, right? Not p top. Once this is done, also we are gonna remove from the priority queue as well, pq dot pop, right? So once this is also done, we are going to return our result. That's simple. So let's try to run this code and see whether everything is looking fine or not. So here you can see both the test case passed. So let's try to submit this code as well, and I hope it also gets submitted, right? It should not give any error. And here we go. You can see, guys, right? Now the last programming language, this is nothing but Java. All right, so now in Java, what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to say make an array, right, of which has this number and num2. So we can say list of integer, and here we can say the name of is nothing but array, is new is nothing but array of list. Once we are done this thing, what we are going to do, we are going to say for int I is equal to 0, I less than nums1 dot length I plus plus. What we are going to do, we are going to say arr dot add new int, and here we are going to add what, first of all we are going to add nums1, or we can add nums2 first. Let's say nums2 of I comma nums1 of I, right? Now once we have done this thing, now what we are going to do, we are going to sort it, right? So how we can sort this particular thing now? So for sorting, what we have to do, we have to say arr.sort. Here we have to use own comparator, right? So we are going to say a comma b, and here in own comparator we are going to say b of 0 should be a of 0. What I have done here, actually I have just sorting it on the basis of 0 indexes and in reverse order. I hope this makes sense, right? You can even write nums1 front and nums2 later, and then also we need to use a we can say comparator as well, right? All right, so once we have done this particular thing, what we are going to do, so we are going to just nothing but make a first of all priority queue. So priority queue and queue, and here data type will be integer, and now the name I'm going to give is pq, which is going to be nothing but new priority queue. All right, and here we go, right? Once we have created a priority queue, what we are going to do, we are going to say for int I is equal to 0 and I less than nums1 of length and I plus plus. I hope this makes sense. Once we have done this thing, now we are going to add into total sum and the result, right? So let's define this two as well. So we're going to say long total sum, which is nothing but 0, and we can say long our result, which is also nothing but equal to 0 right now. So here we are going to say total sum plus equal to we can say arr dot get I, and here the 0 index is defined the nums2 array and 1 index is defined the nums1 array. So we have to add the element of nums1. After adding, what we are going to do, we are going to say ts dot not ts, we are going to insert this particular data in our priority queue as well. So pq dot offer, and we can say arr dot get I, and here we can say 1. Once we have added, we are going to check a condition if I is greater than equal to k minus 1. So now we have to say find out the result, which if it is maximum then take it as well, right? So result comma not max, we can use a mat dot max here in Java, and we can say result comma, and after result comma what we are going to use, we are going to say multiply with the nums2 element array, right? So nums2 is nothing but arr to get I, and the 0 index it is a nums2 into the total sum, which is nothing but we have ts. And now once we have taken, now we are going to remove the minimum element from total sum, which is nothing but ts minus equal to this will be done by pq dot poll. Fine. Now once this is done, and this pq dot poll also return as well as remove the element, right? So we don't need to remove again. So we can say return this result. So now let's see whether it's fine or not. Okay. And I got an error which is nothing but cannot find a nums. Yeah, here it can find a nums because we haven't nums, right? We have nums1. Okay, let's see now. You can see both the test case pass, right? So in Java, I definitely got every time error, right? If you have seen my past video as well, it never gets submitted on first time. So now let's say to submit this code, and it will get submitted, I hope, right? You can see guys, it successfully got submitted, right? So we have successfully solved with Java, C++ and Python, and we have also understood the logic part. And if you still have any kind of doubt, you can write in the comment section. I'm always there to help you. And if you learn something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video.